You are losing over $1 million right now. Not to taxes, not to scams, to a blind spot nobody warned you about. When most of us think about building serious wealth, we picture Wall Street insiders in suits, or risky, speculative bets that feel like a casino. We assume you need tens of thousands of dollars just to buy your ticket into the game. That belief is completely false, and holding on to that misconception is exactly what traps smart, hardworking people in a lifelong cycle of financial struggle. Let's run a test. 2 guys, exact same age, exact same salary, and exact same cost of living. Guy number 1 finances a new car. He eats out every weekend. When the topic of money comes up, he promises he'll start investing next year, when things settle down. Guy number 2 sets up an automatic transfer of $200 a month. No extreme budgeting, no crazy stock picks, just $200. 30 years later, the math hits. Guy number 1 is 60 years old, stressed, and entirely dependent on his next paycheck. Guy number 2 retired at 55, sitting on a portfolio worth over $1 million. They had the exact same income and the exact same expenses. The massive gap in their net worth proves that how much money you make does not dictate your wealth. Something else is driving the system. When Albert Einstein was asked to name the most powerful force in the universe, he pointed to one specific mathematical concept: compound interest. He followed it up with a chilling observation. Those who understand it earn it. Those who don't pay it. At its core, compound interest is simply earning money on the money you've already earned, repeating infinitely. Here is exactly how that math works. Look at this bar chart. You invest $1,000. By the end of the year, it earns a 10% return, adding a new block of $100 on top. Year 2 is where the magic starts. Your 10% return isn't calculated on your original $1,000. It's calculated on your new total of $1,100, so your next return is $110. Then it earns $121, then $133. As the cycles repeat, the chart violently breaks away from a flat trajectory. This is why it fools human intuition. It crawls at first, but once it gains momentum, it becomes mathematically unstoppable. Let's apply this to a real scenario. You take $100 a month, roughly the cost of a daily coffee, and put it into an S&P 500 index fund. By buying an index fund, you own a tiny slice of the 500 largest American companies. Historically, that collection of businesses has reliably averaged an annual return of around 10% for nearly a century. Let's track that on this line graph here. After 10 years, you've contributed $12,000 out of pocket. With compound growth, your balance sits at $20,484. Fast forward to year 20, you've deposited $24,000, but your account has now tripled to over $75,000. At year 30, you've put in $36,000 total. The account has exploded to $226,000. The market handed you $190,000 of pure wealth, and you did absolutely nothing to earn it. Now look at this split screen comparison, because this is where the math gets brutal. Sarah starts investing $200 a month at age 25, but she stops at 35. Just 10 years of contributions, and she never invests another dime. Enter Mike. He starts at age 35, investing that same $200 every single month relentlessly until he turns 65, 30 continuous years. At age 65, who has the larger portfolio? Sarah. She beats him by $80,000. Mike invested 3 times as much out-of-pocket capital, and he still lost. This system doesn't care how hard you work or how much capital you deploy later in life. It mathematically prioritizes the exact moment you start. Every year you delay your start effectively amputates the most explosive, multi-decade growth from the end of your life. Erasing that penalty requires action right now. Step 1. Remove the friction. Open a tax-advantaged account like a Roth IRA. It's free and takes 10 minutes online. Step 2. Buy a broad S&P 500 index fund, like VOO or FXAIX. You don't need to pick the winning horse. You're just buying the whole track. Steps 3 and 4 are where wealth is actually built. Automate a monthly contribution, even if it's $50, and never, ever touch it. This strategy entirely removes the hype, relying on mathematical certainty to build wealth over time. 10 years from today, a decade will have passed. That time is going to vanish whether you take control of your money or not. You will arrive at that future as one of two people: the person who started today and feels incredible relief, or the person who waited and feels the sharp sting of regret. Both versions of you exist as a possibility right now. You have to decide which one you are going to become today, not next week, today. Building wealth requires the deliberate choice to let time do the heavy lifting for you.